I'm gonna say, hey, don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Public servant, don't touch me. Look, public servant, you don't touch me. You don't touch me.
Or else what?
You don't touch me.
Or else what?
I will file a complaint.
You can file a complaint.
Don't
but
touch
I'm going
me.
to identify you.
You're being live streamed? Nope.
All right, stop.
No. Am I being detained?
Yes, you are being detained.
Am I being detained?
Identify who you are.
That's not the way this goes.
Well, I don't care what you say.
Okay.
Hello, and welcome back to Legal Dissent, where we evaluate your constitutional rights before they're taken away. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you're enjoying our evaluations as much as we enjoy making them. But we need you to subscribe to our channel right now to ensure that you stay up to date with your constitutional rights. Today, we take a look at an audit performed by Indiana News around 2 years ago in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Then President Trump was hosting a rally at the Fort Wayne War Memorial Coliseum, and Indiana News was filming from a public sidewalk as Officer Barrientes approached Indiana News. We will detail what is required for an officer to detain an individual, when an individual must ID themselves to the police, and the statutory definition of battery within the state of Indiana. As always, links to the original video, the auditor's channel, the case law, and all of the statutes are all located in the description below.
What's your name, sir?
Who are you?
I'm sorry?
That's not the way this goes. Who are you?
I'm Sergeant Barrientes, Fort Wayne Police Department. How are you?
Good.
What's your name?
I didn't give it.
I know. I want to know what your name is.
I don't care what you want.
Well,
that's not the policy.
The Secret Service.
I don't care.
Us to identify
then why don't they come out here and talk to me?
They will in a moment.
Okay, go ahead. Am I being detained?
What's your name?
Am I being detained?
What is your name?
Am I being detained?
What is your name?
I'm gonna assume no.
What's that?
I'm gonna say, hey, don't you touch me. Don't you touch me. Public servant, don't touch me. Look, public servant, you don't touch me. You don't touch me.
Or else what?
You don't touch me.
Or else what?
I will file a complaint.
You can file a complaint.
Don't
I'm
touch
going
me.
to identify you.
You're being live streamed? Nope.
All right, stop.
No. Am I being detained?
Yes, you are being detained.
Am I being detained?
Identify who you are.
That's not the way this goes.
Well, I don't care what you say.
Okay. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. I'm not.
Sir,
no.
The Secret Service has
I don't
asked
care.
us to identify
I don't care what they want.
Okay.
That's not the way this goes.
I understand that.
Show me the law.
Well, here's the law. There are 3 types of police-citizen encounters. The first is considered a consensual encounter and involves only minimal police contact. Because the citizen is free to leave during a consensual encounter, constitutional safeguards are not yet invoked. The second is commonly referred to as a Terry stop, as defined in the landmark case Terry v. Ohio. At this level, a police officer may reasonably detain a citizen temporarily if the officer has a reasonable, articulable suspicion that a person has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime. Mere suspicion alone is not enough to support a stop. The final type of encounter is an arrest, which must be supported by probable cause that a crime has been or is being committed. In this situation, Indiana News is merely filming in public, which is a constitutionally protected activity, as the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals held in ACLU v. Alvarez. Therefore, even though Officer Barrientes states that Indiana News is being detained, this is an illegal detainment as the officer has no reasonable, articulable suspicion that Indiana News is up to something illegal.
Okay, I understand that.
Show them what have I broken?
What is your
What
name?
law have I broken?
Okay. We have
What
to have a
law
security
have I
for
broken?
The arrival of the President of the United
It doesn't
States.
even close until 3 o'clock.
I understand that.
Or do you understand that?
What's your name?
Do you understand that?
What's your name?
What is your badge number?
1647.
I'm going to file a complaint with Officer Reed
That's okay.
and your Internal Affairs Department.
That's okay.
You don't touch me.
Okay. I did not touch you.
Yes, you did. I have it all live streamed between 3 cameras.
Okay.
Don't touch me. Not to mention the other ones that are watching you right now.
Okay.
Don't touch me. You have no right.
Why won't you give your name?
I have no business to give you my name.
Okay.
I haven't what ordinance have I broken?
What's your name?
What ordinance have I broken?
What is your name, sir?
Have I committed a misdemeanor?
What is your name?
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are.
For under what probable cause?
Okay.
What is your RAS? Your reasonable, articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime.
You have your face covered.
It's cold outside. I have gloves on. It's cold outside.
You don't have your gloves on.
I can't operate the camera.
You don't have gloves
I've
on
been
your
doing this and sticking it inside my jacket.
Well, you have it's so cold.
I've been alternating. It takes video. as well as pictures. I can alternate between them.
Someone reach out to 600 on TAC 9, advise him subject is refusing to.
I'm not refusing the ID. I'm saying I haven't broken the law.
He is not complying with our request for ID.
Refusal to self-identify is defined by Indiana Code 34-28-5-3.5. A person who knowingly or intentionally refuses to provide either the person's name, address, date of birth, or a driver's license, if within the person's possession, to a law enforcement officer who has stopped the person for an infraction or ordinance violation commits a Class C misdemeanor. In this case, Indiana News has not been stopped for an infraction or an ordinance violation. Therefore, he is not required to identify himself to the officer.
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are being detained.
Under what probable cause?
The Secret Service is
under what probable cause? I haven't committed a crime. I haven't. It doesn't matter. You have to. If you have to detain me, then I'm leaving.
No, you're not.
What am I being detained for?
Is that your name?
What am I being detained for? What am I being detained for?
The Secret Service has cleared you.
What am I being detained for? What's your name, officer?
Wants to identify you.
What is your name, sir?
My name is Detective Tagmeyer.
What is your badge number, sir?
1574.
Thank you.
What is your name, sir?
What reasonable articulable suspicion?
We'll see if it's the same thing.
Why don't you get the chief down here?
Chief's busy.
Well, tell Mr. Reed to come down here. He knows who I am. Tell the chief to come here.
600, 620.
Tell the chief to come here.
Let the Secret Service know that the subject is failing to identify.
I'm not failing to ID.
Refusing to identify.
I'm not under 34125 3.5. That's not it. It's not failure to ID. You haven't told me what crime I've committed.
Okay, just a second.
I don't want.
No, they're talking in my ear. You're not going anywhere.
Don't touch me.
You're not going anywhere.
Why am I being detained? Why am I being detained? You haven't given me probable cause for me to be detained.
Just a second. I don't need probable cause.
Yes, you do. You need reasonable articulable suspicion.
That's right.
That's
Yes. What is it?
That's not.
What is it?
Reasonable.
What crime have I committed? Of what crime?
Right now, we're
Of
not
what
sure.
crime?
That's why we're talking.
You can't hold me for you're not sure.
Sure we can.
No, you cannot.
It's called a Terry stop.
No, then Terry frisk me.
Terry stops are designed for officer safety. When they have a reasonable, articulable suspicion that an individual has committed a crime, is committing a crime, or about to commit a crime. It allows officers to briefly detain an individual and do a minimally invasive search of the person for weapons. While the officer was correct that he does not need probable cause, which is a higher standard than reasonable suspicion, he must still be able to articulate a reasonable suspicion of some type of crime. Not sure is just not good enough.
I don't need to frisk you right now.
Okay. Don't reach in my pockets. That's not part of the Terry frisk.
Unless I feel something that could be contraband or a weapon, then I can.
No, you can't.
Sure I can.
That's not a Terry stop.
Sure it is.
Nope. It's a cursory search.
All right.
How dumb do you think the public is?
I don't think they're dumb at all.
Yeah, I've got 3 officers here.
I think they're antagonistic.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out something here that you may have missed. Detective Techmeyer just stated that he does not think that the public are dumb, but quote, I think they are antagonistic. Obviously he means antagonistic, but this attitude is exactly why law enforcement has a public image problem right now. Armed officers approaching a private citizen who is conducting a perfectly legal activity in broad daylight on a public sidewalk is considered antagonistic. Yikes.
3 officers. I'm out here taking video and pictures. Where's the crime in that?
We're just following.
Where is the crime in that? Then tell them to either come out here, and I'll tell them the same thing I'm telling you.
They're on their way, sir.
For taking pictures.
That camera has 42 power zoom lens. You couldn't have got your pictures across the street.
I can get them from right here. It's the same public sidewalk.
You could get them from over there. Just
So I could get them from Google Earth, but I didn't. I got them from over there. That's not a crime. It's not a crime.
It certainly raises suspicion.
It doesn't matter if it raises suspicion. It's not a crime.
It certainly does.
No, it doesn't. It's not a crime. It's not. It's suspicious activity. Is that a misdemeanor or felony, sir?
Suspicious activity.
Misdemeanor or felony?
It's neither.
That's right. It's neither. So I haven't committed a crime.
No, but that doesn't mean we can't talk to you.
Yeah. Well, you can't detain me. That's the thing.
What's the Secret Service advisor?
You don't detain citizens. You don't touch them. You don't touch them.
What's that?
You don't touch citizens.
I couldn't hear you.
Don't get any closer to me.
Or else what?
You're invading my personal space.
Or else what?
What do you think is going to happen?
You tell me.
You tell me. You're the one who wants to lean in like you want to kiss me.
Entrance number 4.
And the only thing I can do is go backward into traffic.
Tell me in the comments below right now, who do you think is the antagonistic party in this situation? Is it Indiana News or is it Officer Barrientes?
So if you're trying to, what do you think I was trying to do? Until you tried to be Johnny on the spot and move over here. Until you try to be Johnny on the spot and prevent me from coming away from the street. You're not serving and protecting. Did you take an oath?
Go out to,
did you take an oath to protect
entrances where
the United States citizens? Did you take an oath? Sir, I'm talking to you. Did you take an oath?
Just a second.
Did you take? I don't care what you're doing. Did you take an oath? I'm talking to you, public servant. I'm talking to you, public servant. Did you take an oath? Did you take an oath?
I did.
To uphold the Constitution.
I did.
This is a First Amendment protected activity. So why don't you get back in your car and get back to your job? This is not your job.
Just a second.
Don't do that to me. You keep leaning in like you can't hear. So I'm speaking up for you.
Here,
so I have two. I have two.
Okay.
So what?
I'm not hearing you over this loud, guys. So yeah, just come to entrance 4 off the Parnell. Secret Service.
I don't want to get pushed in the street.
Do you feel better here?
I'm not going to be pushed in the street by you.
Do you feel better here?
Are you not going to lean in and try to kiss me?
Do you feel better here?
Are you going to not lean in and try to kiss me? Because that'll make me feel better.
I couldn't hear you. Secret Service is coming. Just relax.
Who's this jackboot? Who are you? Who are you, sir?
That's rude.
Well, you're illegally detaining me.
Rude.
I have a right.
That was
to say.
I don't care. What's your name, sir?
Rude and uncalled for.
What's your name, sir?
His name is Officer Fry. His name is Detective Tagmeyer.
What's your badge number, sir?
You don't need to know that.
It's in a policy.
Yeah, he's not talking to
it's
you.
in your policy. He's still here on scene. He's still here on scene. It doesn't matter. He's still on scene.
Okay.
What's your badge number, sir? When I file a complaint, he was witness to you battering me.
Battering?
Yes, you touched me.
Rude,
you touched
or angry
me.
manner.
You touched me.
Did you feel pain?
Oh, this is a good one. The definition of battery under Indiana law is defined in Indiana Code 35-42-2-1. It occurs when a person who knowingly or intentionally touches another person in a rude, insolent, or angry manner. This does not require the victim to feel pain or to be injured by the touching. For example, a woman being groped at a bar would be a victim of battery. According to Wallace v. Rosen, an Indiana Court of Appeals case in 2002, any touching, however slight, may constitute an assault and battery. This being said, to prosecute Officer Barrientes for battery, you would have to prove that he knowingly touched Indiana News, plus it was done in a rude, insolent, or angry manner. While I think he could potentially have a case, we all know it wouldn't get anywhere without a major injury that would shock the conscience.
You touched me. Emotionally, maybe. Because you cannot touch a citizen. You can't.
You can't. If I touched you that way, even with a finger, even if it just touched your clothes, I'm going to jail.
You already did that.
I did not.
Are you going to jail?
I did not.
You touched me?
No. It's all on camera. I did not.
As soon as the Secret Service clears you and then clears that you're no threat to the President of the United States, then you can...
I'm trying to be out of here before 3 o'clock, before the road closes, so I can get my car out of here. Do you want me to stay all night?
No.
Do you want me to get video all night?
Oh, heavens no.
Then let me go per your instructions.
Just a second.
What crime have I committed?
Okay.
What crime have I committed? Am I being detained or am I free to go?
You're being detained until the Secret Service clears you.
What reasonable articulable suspicion do you have? You can't do that. You have to have reasonable articulable suspicion. What crime have I committed?
That's what we're going to do.
What crime have I committed?
That's what we're going to do.
What crime have I committed?
It's a broken record. It's going over and over.
The officer is correct here. It does become a broken record, and the same lines in the conversation go on for a few more minutes until Officer Hartman approaches the scene.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Officer Adam Hartman, 1896 Fort Wayne Police Department.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for being professional. Unlike these guys who have illegally detained me. And this guy decided he wanted to put his hands on me. Can you do something about that?
Well, he's a sergeant.
It doesn't matter. Can you please arrest this man?
I'm not.
Well, hey, I am going to file a complaint, but that is not it. Can you arrest this man for illegally touching me?
No, I haven't witnessed any crime.
I'll show you. I'll show you the crime. It's being live streamed as we speak. You don't touch citizens, sir, who've done nothing wrong. You don't touch them. Do you hear me? Do you understand? I didn't do anything wrong.
Okay, I just got advised by...
No shit.
Listen, there's no need to swear.
Yeah, yes, there is, because you can't illegally detain me. You are illegally detaining me.
You allow tumultuous
You are, yeah. Well, you said you can't hear. You said you can't hear. I'm obliging you.
Right.
Can you hear now?
I can hear now. Listen, these are your options. Okay.
I'm not wanting to hear. Am I being detained or am I free to go? Am I being detained or am I free to go? Am I being detained or am I free to go?
Are you going to allow me to speak?
Am I being detained? Once you answer my question.
Yes, I'm going to give you what your options are.
I don't care what my options are. I have a right to leave. Am I being detained or am I free to go? Am I being detained or am I free to go? I heard the same thing you did. Am I being detained or am I free to go?
You're being detained.
Under what suspicion of crime? I don't need to hear your lip. Am I being detained or am I free to go? That's the only thing that matters.
Has been secured and rented by...
Am I being detained or am I free to go?
If you
am I being detained or am I free to go?
Again, the situation devolves into a repetition of questions that neither participant are willing to answer.
You have to release me. You have to release me from detainment. You have to release me from detainment. It's not up for me to make a decision whether or not I understand something. It's up to you to release me from my detainment. Am I being detained or am I free to go? Thank you, sir. I don't care to hear your lip. I'm not on the sidewalk. How's that?
Have a good day.
No, you have a terrible day because I'm going to file a complaint with your department.
Wouldn't be the first.
I don't know about you, but this seems like a terrible response. As if it's somehow a redeeming quality that this wouldn't be the first complaint lodged against the officer?
Well, I already know that. I already know that. I've heard your name before. I can't cross here.
I'm just saying,
are you going to escort me across?
I'll escort.
Are you going to escort me across?
I'll escort you across.
Oh, let's go down here.
Well, how far down do you want to go?
As far as I need to go, away from this guy
we'll go right
who's trying.
I'll escort you across.
No, I'll determine where I cross at.
If you have a ticket, though, you're still welcome to go in on the other side. Do you still have a ticket, or do you have a ticket?
I'm not answering any questions.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just trying to.
Even though you've been professional,
we're not refusing you to enter the building if you have the ticket.
The Secret Service has not done that. Why are you following me so close?
I'm going with Detective Tagmeyer.
I mean, you're being watched. They're telling me that you're following me real close. Did you have your hand on your gun?
Huh?
Did you have your hand on your gun?
I stand like this.
Okay, because this camera's watching you.
That's fine. All right, perfectly fine.
Well, there we go. You have to admire Indiana News' persistence in the face of confrontation. He knows the law, and he knows how to respond to officers. I believe he did well on this audit. He obviously gets heated and frustrated, which is understandable, as he was unlawfully detained. Officer Barrientes, we're not so impressed with. His demeanor was sarcastic and rude to the auditor, and he clearly didn't care about protecting the rights of the citizens he swore to serve. What's doubly concerning is that since this encounter, he's been promoted to the captain of the Fort Wayne Police Training Center. Even though this encounter took place over 2 years ago, it still evidences his regard for the law and for his community. We know Indiana News is a subscriber of the channel, and we hope you can swing by to share more information in the comments as well. What do you think? Do you think Indiana News was antagonistic? Would you feel safer if you lived in Fort Wayne and knew that Captain Barrientes was in charge of training your police force? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time right here on Legal Dissent.